This
detail.
conference will now be recorded.
I'll explain in high level, and then I'll proceed with one topic. Okay. And if you have any questions in middle, you can stop me and you can shoot out your questions as well. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So coming to the testing, so how it will be is like testing generally will be considered as part of manual and automation. So when it comes to the manual one, so how what the word manual in the sense is like we have to do it on our own, right? So in manual intervention, so something which a human person has to take, right? So testing also initial earlier days, only the people like uh, manually we have to do it and we have to test it. So what exactly testing is like, when I was doing something, if it is work, when I give some input, I'm expecting an output. So whether I'm getting the output as an expected or I'm not getting it as an expected, so that testing is nothing but uh, that variation will be there, right? Whether it is pass or fail, that part we'll call it as testing. Okay. If it is done by human person, then we used to call it as manual testing. If it is done by using any software and automation tools, then we'll call it as automation testing. So that is the difference when it comes to uh, manual and automation. Okay. uh, so in testing also, like in the manual testing, generally nowadays we'll call it as functional, not as manual. So when it comes to the functional testing, what exactly the functional testing we will do and all the stuff is nothing but. So functional testing is nothing but we've been checking whether whatever data I've been given, like data in the sense input. So once I given a data, that data is will do some process and it will give me an output. Okay, to check. Yeah. Uh, Pratap, do you have any questions? If not, like, could you please go on mute, please? I can't hear you. Yeah. So, what exactly the functional testing means? When we given an input to a system, we have been expecting an output. So that output could be anything, whether it is an pass result or fail result. That we'll check it later. So when I given data, according to my reference, if that output is coming as expected, means then we'll pass the test case. If the output is not coming as expected, means then we'll fail that one. So here in the testing part, what exactly we'll be doing is like, when it comes to developer will do developing. So he will develop and he will give the application to us. Okay, so application could be anything. That could be like when we are the end users, right? Take Facebook. So Facebook also being tested by someone before, right? Before is come to the customers in the sense, we as a persons who has been logged into the application. So these are the uh, before coming to the live in the sense, before coming to the live in the sense we've been testing, right? So before coming to the output persons, like for the Facebook you have an account, so you've been a person, you've been in customer to the Facebook. Or if you take any Paytm application, you will log in, you will register, and then you will do all sort of payments and all this stuff, right? So then you have been a customer to the Paytm. So these are the stuff, like when you consider all these things, so these are the applications and you mean the end user. So before coming to the end user, it will undergo so much of testing. Okay. So once it undergoes so much of testing and it being live, then only end customer will be taking it. So before part, whatever the phases it'll go, like registration, so many things will be there, right? Take a Facebook application. When you log in, before login, what you have to do, you should be a register to the customer, right? the, you should be registered as a person to the Facebook. Then you will do login, then you will do share chat, all the things will be there, that, and log out. So these are the stuff will be there. So these every part is being testing by a person. If a person isn't, a team will be there, they will do it. So once they certified according to it, then only it will comes to the live. If there are any issues, when you send an output to the customer, if it is not satisfiable, what will do, it won't be a good product, right? So we as a functional testers, what we'll do is like we'll deliver quality product to the customers. So that we'll do it. That we'll consider as functional testing. Okay. So in functional testing, what generally we'll be doing is like they are uh, these are the I think everyone can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah. These are the stages where software testing will go. So this one we'll call it as software testing life cycle. So how the software testing will be. So the when you check all these phases, then at the end of the stage, you will get to understand that okay, so this is the software testing life cycle. So how the project will start, how the project will end. So what are the phases that been involved in between start and end of an application, we'll get to know by using software testing lifecycle. Okay, so when you have been, this is one of the important question also. So when you go out as a fresher or when you go out as an experienced person for any interview, then you will be asked this question like, what is software testing life cycle? So how the or what is the life cycle? What is the life cycle of software testing? So this kind of question you will be getting it. So let's talk about each and every phase of it, how it will be. So when it comes to the requirement analysis, so what exactly the requirement analysis is nothing but uh, it is nothing but a how the application, it's nothing but rules and regulation about the application. So how the application should display, what are the functions it should display. So function in the sense, when I give an input, I've been expecting certain output. So how the output should be is being designed in function, the design how the output will be, that will consider as a functionality. Okay, that means that take a live example of Facebook. So Facebook, what is the first thing we will be doing when you're new to the Facebook? We'll do registration, right? So in the registration, how the registration should be, like it, what are the details it has to take while do the registration. So those all details we'll be having in requirement analysis phase. So when it comes to requirement analysis phase, so what will be the output is like, I'll be knowing the rules and regulation and how the application will be. That means that, for example, uh, you could have a question like, who will design this requirement analysis document? So there is a person called, see, you know it, right? Software is a huge number of persons incorporated, and we'll be getting the end output, right? That means that for an application or for a project, we should need a business analyst, we should need a developer, we should need a tester, and we should, then the product will go live, right? So who is business analyst? So business analyst is nothing but he is the one who will interact to the client in the sense, the person who will do investment in the application. That means that, for example, Facebook. So Facebook is being built by a particular a company, Facebook, right? So uh, he will go with some requirements. Hey, this is my I want to build an application like this, so can you design it? So he will approach to different companies like TCS, Infosys, Accenture. So all these things, so these are nothing but these are the one who will develop the product according to the companies or client. Then that person, like the one who, Facebook is the client now, and the person's like companies are there, right? Accenture, TCS, Infosys. So all these are the vendors. So in this vendor section, so we will be having a business analyst. So who is that business analyst? Like he is the one who will interact with the client and he will get the details. So what are the details means how the application will be, what are their requirements. So what will be the requirements means how the product will be, what are the things it needs to be incorporated. So those details business analyst will get it and he will do a blueprint. Okay, blueprint in the sense, uh, see when we construct a house we will be having a plan, right? So how many rooms will be there, what are the uh, like where would be the entrance. So all these things we'll put it in a paper, right? Similarly, business analyst will also will do a blueprint of the application. So how the application will be, how the details should be, what are the logins. So all these things he will discuss with the client and he will design a document called requirement analysis document. So when it comes to the requirement analysis phase, what the thing needs to be there is like, we what is the output in output means we will be having an design and how we will be knowing the blueprint of the application, what is the application, how the application should work, what are the stages it has application. Those details we will be having in detail. Okay, got it. Let me show. I have a small reference document. Let me show you that. Yeah. So this is like sample required analysis document. So how it should be is like it will be designed in such a way that we'll be having a screen and those particular screen details will be listed out. So how the screen should be, what are the details it needs to display, so how the screen when we click something what it needs to be done. So those details we will be seeing it. For example, let's see this requirement analysis document. So there is a screen called home screen. So this is nothing but home screen. You could see that, right? Home screen. So what it has displayed is like login section should display with following details. So you could see that login section, username and password. So this is nothing but login means generally we'll do what login will be there. Will be means we'll be giving an input and we'll be giving an user ID, we'll be giving password and then we'll click sign in or submit, right? Then we'll log into the application, right? So that is nothing but login. So how the login should be, so what are the user ID. So we will be get to know that by looking the required analysis document, we'll get to know that, oh, this is the requirement analysis document and I should in the login screen I should get a username, password and submit button, and how the username should be, what are the characters it should take, certain rules and regulations, how the field should display. So those will be there. For example, if you see this one, login section should display the following details. What are the details? Username text box, password text box, and submit button. So you all aware, right? What is text box? So when we see an application, if we see it as a box kind where we can enter some details, this one we call it as like follow my mouse. So this one we call it as this one. So this particular box section will be there, right? Where we'll enter the username. So this particular box section we will call it as username, and sorry, call it as text box. And if you see that it is kind of a button, right, where I have to click something. So then we call it, then this one we call it as button. Okay, so user text box, what we will be using is like we'll give the user input, and password we'll provide the password text box. Okay, so how the user ID should be, and I mean what are the specific rules. Like for example, when we do some registrations, they'll give certain rules and regulations, right? The user ID should not be crossing more than 20 characters, or it should contains I mean when we see the password, you should see that it always gives one capital letter, one it should contain 8 characters, it should contains one capital letter, one special character, one one number, like that you would have seen, right, when you're doing some registrations for any application. Similarly, here also those are nothing but the rules. So those details are being kept by business analyst based on the client details. You're getting it, right? What is the required analysis document? Any questions here? Any questions? So, in simple, what we can say that business analyst out, wait, sorry, in the requirement analysis phase, what is the output is I will be getting to know what exactly the application, that is one point. And second, a rules and regulation document called required analysis document. So these two I will be getting it at the end of requirement analysis phase. Any question here regarding requirement analysis? Giri there, Irfan, Jay.
No.
Okay. Yeah. So next comes to the test planning. So what exactly the test planning involves is we at the end of requirement analysis we'll get to know that okay, this is what kind of project will be, how long the project will be, like is it a short term project or long term project, those details we'll get to know, right? So with that details, a team will start building. That means that for a project we'll have a project manager, we have a lead, we have resources. So hierarchy will be, so those team will be built, and we'll get to know what, I mean, how long the project should be. So what are the when the project should go live, so what are the tests, I mean, how many days we need for development, how many days we need to test. So how many, I mean, at what is the time we'll be doing the test closure. So the next four phases will be there, right? So these how it should go, like what these will be planned in test planning. So who will plan this one is like project manager will plan this. So project manager is the one who will be interacting with the business analyst and the client. Okay, so he will go with certain budget. Okay, hey, the requirement, I have gone through your requirement analysis document, so this is the budget I've been planning for, and these are the resources, and this is the time I've been expecting to complete the complete application of testing. Okay, so we'll go like that. So who will go? Project manager. Okay, so at the end of test planning, so what is the output means, we'll get to know when we'll get to know team size. So how many members are required, that we'll get to know. Okay, so we'll get to know what is the start date of the testing. Okay, we'll get to know when is the end date of the testing. We'll get to know the size of the team. So these are the outputs when it comes to test planning. Okay, so who will plan here? Test manager. Project manager will be planning it, and he will share those details to the client. Okay, once the client approves, then we'll start the actual testing process. Okay, so you got it, what is test planning? Any questions here? Hello, any questions? What is test planning? Okay, so let me recall the summary of those two phases. So requirement analysis, what is the output? We'll get to know what exactly the application, we'll get to know the blueprint of the application, and we'll be getting required analysis document. Okay, so what is the test planning output? Test planning output is nothing but we'll get to know what is the team size, what, when is the start of the testing, when will be the closure. So we'll get to know is it a short term project or long term project. So what exactly the short term project is? Nothing but the days to develop or the days to test the application is very less. It is less than an year. So that could be a quarter, that could be a 3 months, that could be 6 months, that could be 9 months, or that could be an near equal to the year. Okay. If it is greater than an year, then we'll consider those projects as long term projects. Okay. So those details we'll get to know by at the end of test planning. Okay. So when we are planning, I mean after the test planning was done, so what we as a testers will be doing is like we have to wait for the application to develop, right? So there is a parallel team called development team will also start, right? So that development team, what they will do is like they'll start I mean they start developing the application as per the required analysis document. Okay. So once the project was started, what we will be doing is like business analyst will give the KT regarding the application. So how the application should be, so what how the project should work, so what are the functionalities that it has. So those KT will be given by business analyst to both. Who are those? One is testing team and the second is development team. Okay, these two will listen what is the application, how the application. So why the developers will listen is like they will do the development as per the requirement analysis document. Why testers are needed is like once the developer has been developed, we have to know whether it is working as expected, and we have to test, we as a part of testing team has to test whether the application is been working as expected as per the requirement analysis document. So that we will do it. Okay. So uh, simultaneously developer will do the development. So we as a testers, what we will do is like we will design test cases. So what exactly the test case is like? Test case is nothing but um, is shorter notation of what exactly that particular functionality will do. So functionality means, as I said earlier, we'll give an input and we'll expect an output. So how the output should be is being designed by using requirement analysis document, right? We will uh, divide this requirement analysis document into huge part, like into huge smaller blocks, and we'll write the test cases for those blocks. Okay. So how the writing of the test cases and all, I'll explain further. So I'll tell what exactly a test case means. Okay. So consider the Facebook itself, or consider IRCTC application. So first thing what we will do to be a customer to the IRCTC, we'll do registration, right? Correct. So once the registration has been done and you've been part of IRCTC application with any user ID and password, so the second step is login. Correct. So login, what we will do, we'll give user ID, password and captcha, and then we'll do sign in, right? So that is login. So once login has been done, what is the next step? We'll do train booking, right? So we'll give to and fro where what is the source and what is the destination we'll be giving, and we'll do a search and we'll book the ticket, right? And then once the ticket booking is being done, we'll do the payment and we'll be getting a PNR with the ticket, right? So these are the stages which been involved, right? So each stage, that means that registration is one, login, then train search, then filling the customer details and booking the ticket. So these are nothing but functionalities of an IRCTC application. That means that consider just a second. Okay. Just consider this complete red block will be there, right? So this red block is your project, which is nothing but IRCTC application. Okay. So in that we have discussed like this green block will be registration, and then that light green one will be my login, and this blue one will be the train search, and this violet will be the ticket booking and where we'll get the ticket, right? So for each thing, like for each part, it is an interconnect, right? So once a registration has been done for one time, we can log into the application. So without registration, we won't be doing a login part, right? So until unless you've been a person to the customer to the application, then only you can log in, right? So these things will be there, right? So what exactly the registration should be, so what exactly the login should be, so what exactly the train search. So these are nothing but functionalities of the project. Okay, so the if you consider red as the complete project, so these blocks are there, right? Where green, light green, registration, login, train search, booking, so these are the functionalities of the project, so this application. So what we will be doing is like we will break each module or each functionality. That means that these small blocks will be my functionalities. So what exactly the test case development will be doing is like we'll break each functionality into small pieces, and then we will be writing what is the expected output. So when I give some details, it should give in some output to it. For example, do the registration. So when we consider the registration, what is the output of the registration? We will be having a user ID and the password to log into the application, right? Correct. So that we'll do it in the registration. So output of the registration will be having user ID and password. So output of the login, we'll do success login, and we could see the home screen of the application. Correct. So these are the things. So how the output should be, so these details we will be writing in the form of test cases. So that is the phase of this particular test case development. So here testers will do how the application, like what exactly the number of test cases, so functionalities, so those details we will be doing it. Simultaneously developers will do the application development, so how the application should display, so those details and all developer will start developing it. Okay, clear what is this test case development? Any questions here? Any questions?
No, no.
Yeah. So next comes to the environment setup. So what exactly the environment setup is like? So developers will do developing, right? He will do the development part, and he will give the uh, he'll give it for testing. So we should need an application, right, to do the testing. So that will be considered in the environment setup part. So if we need if it is a web application, so web application is nothing but we will be launching the application in the web page. So that means that web can be anything, that Chrome browser or any browser, Edge browser or IE browser, Firefox browser. If the application opens in any browser, then we call that as an web application. So there is a thing called desktop application. So desktop application is nothing but if the application opens in if the application opens in any of the system, like for example consider mobile phones. So where we have in the Play Store, we will do install, right? For example, Paytm is there, where Paytm will work as a web application and also a desktop application, right? Where we will do the installation and then we will proceed, right? So those are called as desktop application. So the media where it was used is mobile, right? So that is called mobile desktop application. If you use it in laptop, then we'll call it as laptop mobile then we call it as desktop applications. So if there is any environment setup, so what this environment setup will be doing is like, so if anything need, if it is a desktop application, we have to get the file and we have to do the installation, right? So that part we will be doing in the environment setup. So what exactly the output of the environment setup is like, we'll get to know what are the how the application needs to be set. If it is a browser application, what is the browser it is needed. So for example, take any application, that application, if it is a web application, so it should open in a browser, right? So in few applications are there where it will log into a specific browser, it don't log in all the browsers. So that browser, whether we have it or not, so those details we'll get to know in the test environment setup phase. Okay, so clear everyone? Any question in this test environment setup? Okay, so coming to the execution, so what exactly the test execution will be doing is like, so at the end of test case development, we will be doing the test case development, right? So this test case development will be start executing against the application. So at the end of the test case development, we have the test cases design as per the required analysis document. Similarly, at the end of test environment setup, we will be doing the test setting. So how the testing should be. So those setup we will be done, right? So once the setup was done, we will do is like, we will test the test cases with the environment what we have set, and then we will, if the input, I mean, what is the input we've been giving as per the test case, and we've been getting the exact output, then we'll pass the test case. For example, let me show you a sample test case. So this is a sample test case one, where if you see that we have a test case description. So what exactly test case description will be doing is like, so we will get to know a shorthand notation. So what that application is being, the test case is about. For example, when we see this test case description, verify user is able to view the registration link page in home screen. So once we launch the application, whether we are able to see registration link or not, that we will see, that is the test case. Okay, so step description is nothing but it is an step by step procedure to go to, for the it is a step by step procedure of the test case description. For example, what is the test description mentions, like verify user is able to view the register link in the home page. In the home page, are we able to do the register link or not, that we will be seeing it. So in that, for that, what we have to do, we have to launch the application, and then we have to verify home screen is being displaying or not. If we see that, consider this as an application. Yeah, so this is the application home screen. You should see, this is my test case, whether a user is able to verify register link. So that is the one. So I have to launch the application, and I have to see verify register hyperlink is displaying or not. So this is the register part. Yeah, so this we will be testing. In the testing phase, we will test like this. So what we have done, so we have launched the application, then we have seen verify the register part is done or not. So according to the test case description, if I'm getting the expected output, then we will pass the test case. So if it is failing, we'll tell to the developer, hey, this particular thing is not working as expected. Just have a look on it, and we'll raise the defects on that and all. I'll explain a little further. Okay. So once after end of the test execution, once entire test cases are been tested and then it is been certified, so what we will do is like we will do the test closure. That means that the as per the required analysis document, entire application is working as expected. We are giving sign off, and then the product will go live, and the customers like end output user will be using that. So this is the entire software testing life cycle. Any questions so far in any of the stage? Hello.
No.
Hello. Okay. So if this test cases are, if the human person is been doing these test cases, then we'll call it as functional testing or manual testing. If using certain software tools, if the tool is been testing, then we call it as automation testing. So for now, what we will do the testing by using Selenium tool. So what at the end of, so how the structure will be is like my teaching. So first I will be completing the manual. So how the manual testing will be. So what how to write a test case, how to write the test, how to write the test case. So how to do the execution. So what is RTM. So all these things I will be explaining. So once the complete functional part is being done, then we'll go to the automation. So how the manual thing will be there, that we will be doing in automation by using a tool called Selenium. Okay. So that will explain. So how to do the setup. Once the setup has been done, so how to uh, once the setting has been in, how to write the code, how to launch the application, how to write the code. So those and all we'll discuss. Okay. So this is my plan. So entire thing will be taken around 40 to it will complete in 40 to 60 days, like within 2 months. Entire sessions will get completed. So this is the plan. So any questions? When comes to the automation part, I'll be covering Java with Selenium. So there is no worry like, hey, I'm not aware of Java. Like, can I write the code? Yes, you can write it. I'm there to explain what is Java, how the Java will be useful, and how to write the code to launch the Selenium project. Also, I'll explain that. So no need to worry. You should. There is no such thing that you should have a coding knowledge before. Then only can I do it. Not like that. So I'm here to help you out with the coding, and then you can write your programs as well. Okay. Any other questions? Any question with the topic? Hello.
It is totally Java or just a part?
Mhm. No, Selenium, we will be writing the code with Java, and other tools called Selenium will incorporate. So Selenium can be written in so many languages that you can write the code in C sharp, or you can write it in Python. So many languages that support Selenium. But now I mean the trending is like Selenium with Java. So I'll teach you how to execute or how to write the code with Java and Selenium.
Okay, okay.
So if you're aware of Java, that is enough. I mean, to write the Selenium code. So both I will teach you. Yeah. Any other questions, Irfan?
No, no.
Girida? Jay? Any other questions? Uh, yeah. If you have any questions with the session or any details, further details, please contact Kiranmai. Uh, she'll guide you off. Okay. Hello. Yeah, Girida. Hello. So if there is no questions, we'll wrap it up the session. And if you have any questions in further also, please reach out to us, Kiranmai, and we can have a session as well. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Have a nice day. ముగ్గురు